The Hazbin Hotel lounge was unusually quiet that afternoon, save for the faint crackle of Alastor's ever-present radio static humming in the background like white noise. You just come back from, well, let's call it an errand in the Pentagram City. Nothing major, just a quick visit to a shady piercer parlor who was run by some imp who owned Angel Dust a favor. You actually thought you'd gotten away with it. You were wrong. You barely made it 2 steps past the threshold when a telltale shadow stretched across the floor, long, angular, and far too cheerful for your comfort. Alastor materialized directly in your path, cane tapping against the floor like a judge's gavel. Well. His voice lifted through the invisible speakers, grin wide enough to split his face. What have we here, my darling daughter, slinking in like a little cat with cream on its whiskers? Care to explain the distinct metallic glint I just caught from beneath that crop top of yours? You froze mid-step. Shit. The shirt had ratted up just enough when you adjusted your bag. Instinctively, you tugged the hem down. It's nothing, Dad. It's just, new jewelry. It's no big deal. Alastor's head tilted, the exact angle predators use before pouncing on their prey. His eyes were narrowed and pupils were flickering like an old-time reel. Jewelry, he repeated slowly, as though it tasted sour on his tongue. On your abdomen. How delightfully modern. Before you could bolt, a thin black tendril snaked from his shadow gently, almost politely lifting the hem of your shirt just high enough to reveal the small silver barbell that rested in your navel, complete with a tiny red gem that matched his coat. The static in the air spiked into a sharp burst of vintage radio speech. You yelped and swatted at the shadow. Hey, personal space! The tendril repeated instantly, but then soon retreated when it noticed Alastor's grin hadn't faltered. If anything, it grew sharper. My, how rebellious! He circled you, cane clicking on the floor. And here I thought the height of teenage defiance in this household was sneaking extra beignets after curfew. But a hole punched through one's flesh is such a prominent location, darling. That is practically a declaration of war. You crossed your arms, trying to look braver than you felt. It's just a belly ring. Half the sinners in Pride have one. It's cute and I like it. Cute, he echoed, voice dropping into the octave in something dangerously close to a growl, wrapped in velvet. Cute, like the festering wound it could become if improperly cared for. Cute, like the infection risk in a realm where medical care is largely rip it out and hope for the best. Cute like the permanent scar you'll carry because some black alley hack with a needle decided to play surgeon. He stopped in front of you, looming just enough to become, well, intimidating? Not really, because he was your dad, but let's just say it made the room feel smaller. You swallowed. I was careful. The place was clean-ish. I'm not a kid anymore. Almost 16. Almost 17, actually. In hell years, I can make my own choices. For a long moment, the only sound was the low, ominous hum of the radio between the stations. Then Alastor exhaled through his nose, a rare, almost human sound, and his grin softened just a fraction. You can, he conceded, voice quieter now. And you did, but allow me this one small indulgence as your father. He leaned down into your eye level, crimson gaze searching yours. The next time you decide to ornament your body like a Christmas tree, you bring me along and at the very least warn me. I do have standards for if someone's going to stab my daughter with metal. I do insist on supervising for quality control. He blinked. You'd come to a piercing shop with me? Of course. His cheer snapped back like a rubber band. I'll bring snacks, perhaps some jazz records to set the mood, and have that imp so much as breathes wrong near you. His shadow flickered, sprouting extra eyes and teeth for emphasis. Well, accident happens, my sweet girl. They happen all the time. You couldn't help it. You laughed, a short, nervous burst, but it turned into a real one when he dramatically clutched his chest like you'd wound him. See, now you're laughing at my pain, truly the cruelest rebellion of all. Stepping closer, you hesitated but hugged him, quick and awkward but real. He stiffened for half a second. But then one arm carefully came around your shoulders, careful to not crush you with this demonic strength. It does look rather fetching with the red stone, he admits grudgingly, patting your head. But if I even see one hint of redness or swelling, young lady, I will be removing it myself with extreme prejudice. Noted. You grinned up at him. I love you too, Dad. His smile turned fond, genuinely fond, the kind he only saved for you. Now go clean it properly before Charlie sees and tries to stage an intervention with frightened bracelets and group hugs. We can't have that. As you headed upstairs, you heard him mutter under his breath, kids these days, honestly.